He's a singer-songwriter, acoustic guitarist, and a local vocal teacher who's been using music to connect with his audiences across our community for over a decade. Whether it's weddings, live gigs, or community events, he creates unforgettable musical moments and brings people together through song. His name is Jimmy James, and he's here in the studio with me this morning. Welcome to Gig on the Air, Jimmy.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Excited to have you in the studio. Excited to finally meet you in person because I've heard so much about this person called Jimmy James and now I need to meet him in person. So it's great to have you in. Tell me though, when did you first start getting into music, I suppose?
So I grew up in church and we were playing music all of our life. My mum and dad playing music. I think it was 6 years ago now. I started teaching singing. And then after that, I was like, I really want to be in the scene of music. I want to play at the pubs. I want to play at all these places and start traveling for music. So maybe about 6 years ago.
And was there a genre of music that you sort of gravitate to? Like you said, you grew up with the choirs. I'm assuming, and in the church. But was there sort of a genre that?
I love folk. Yes. I love folk music. Like Hosier is like right up there with my favorite artists. Noah Khan as well. Oh, they're great. Such good songwriting. I think they tell a really good story.
It's the storytelling as well. Is that what comes through your writing?
I think so. I think it's something that's really, when I write, it's very personal to me. Lots of tears, lots of, really intimate moments when I'm writing. So yeah, definitely the blood, sweat and tears in the music,
Well, for anyone that's seen you perform, that's actually something that comes across to the audience. They tell me that, you're very heartfelt in your performances. Is it hard to do that in front of an audience though?
I think the more you do it, the less scary it is and the more natural it is. Again, as a singing teacher, a lot of people come to me with very big nerves. They're very scared to sing. But then as we start doing it more and more, it's less of a emotional thing, more of a practice thing. As they're getting better, they're getting more confident. And then the emotion comes back in.
I was going to ask, because is that hard when you're also a teacher and a vocalist and teaching other people, but also for yourself when you're performing? You sort of have to go into the skill set zone, but then you do still want to have that emotion too. So it's sort of back to front in a way.
I think that my Monday students only know me as vocal fatigue Jimmy because I've come off 2 or 3 gigs over the weekend. And so I think it's a bad representation of me as a singer on Monday. And obviously I can still teach and it's still great. But as a singer, I'm there with my steamer and my hot coffee, drinking, recovering from not a big weekend, just a big singing weekend.
Well, listen, Jimmy, you haven't heard me sing, so it can't get any worse than that.
No, I'm sure that everyone can learn to sing. I wholeheartedly believe that.
I will take you up on that, I think, one day. But now you said that you sort of gravitated to folk music. Is that how you describe your sound, though, for when you're creating music?
Very good question. I feel I'm very drawn by the lyrics of the songs that I'm writing, the story in it. But then the sound is very country folk. So, yeah, but my voice is said to be like a big compliment, like Chris Stapleton, that like raspier, guttural sound, very raw, So that sound paired with folk, I think, which makes it a really cool combination.
Also, like it gets you're able to change then, right? So you get
exactly.
to have a little bit of variety for you to have some fun with when you're playing and when you're singing as well. But you do a lot of gigs. You do perform quite a bit, whether it be weddings or events or in the pub, as you mentioned. Do you have a favourite to prefer? Because I imagine a wedding would be very high pressure.
Yeah, I think it definitely was in the beginning, because imagine you've learned a song for walking down the aisle and you have to learn this song and you're seeing them standing there waiting to walk down the aisle and you're the only thing between them and a happy ever after. So I think in that regard, weddings are surprisingly really quick. Walking down the aisle and the ceremony is still only 1 hour.
Yes.
And in that hour, they have to sign, they have to do vows. So you're a fraction of the time. So it is scary, but it's quick. So you might only be doing 20 seconds of a song or a minute of a song before they're holding hands, and same with the reception, you know. So it gives a good perspective of the time frame.
I don't know though, Jimmy, those 20 seconds sound very high pressure indeed. Even you describing it, that's all they're listening to, and it's the moment that everyone's, you know, there for walking down the aisle. But when it comes to building a set list for, you know, those different events, how do you go through that process for yourself?
I think with my wedding and gig mentality, I try to, it's on the day as well. So, but the prior thought process is, I really want to go through this time loop. I find that the 2000s are a really good place to start. And then I find that I love country as well. And up north, I think that a lot of people also like country. So I play a little bit of country in the middle, and then I go into like what I call the pub classics.
Yes.
Bruce Springsteen, you know, some of these awesome artists, Elton John, you know, the fun stuff that gets people dancing.
And after they've had potentially a couple of glasses.
Drinks. Yes, exactly right. And I bet I sound much better after a couple of wines. And it's, you know, after you're on the wedding dance floor, 5 drinks in.
People probably think you're Bruce
Jim's,
by then.
I'm incredible at that point, I'm pretty sure.
But you're a teacher as well. So how do you find that?
Yeah, so in my day-to-day, obviously, you know, I work at a school in Townsville, and I work every day in the afternoon. So I love teaching. I think it's a big part of the love for singing is seeing these people at many ages, from kids all the way up to adults, experience the stress of singing and then the love of singing directly after. So it's like a really addictive job, to be honest. It's really like gives a lot of purpose.
Well, it sounds like you're very passionate about just music in general, to be honest with you, Jimmy, and I love that. And it seems like we have that in North Queensland again. We have that back here, certainly in Townsville. We've got that passion to see so many local musicians just thrive these days.
Yeah, I feel like this new era of music is really in Townsville is coming into itself. You know, it's really exciting. There's a lot of new artists coming up and about, which is so exciting, so fun. Every weekend somebody new at the pub. That's awesome. I really love that, you know.
Well, we're going to hear one of your songs that hasn't been released yet, hasn't even been recorded yet. It's called Brick by Brick. Jimmy, tell us a little bit about this one though.
This one I wrote a couple of a year ago, but it's very indicative of how I felt a lot of my life, in that I wanted to be somewhere else, I wanted to be doing something else, and it's really important that process starts one brick at a time, because it doesn't matter what you're doing, the first step is followed by the second step. And that's the process. It's
huge advice. It's such a really great advice, actually, that we can learn from your track, Brick by Brick. Jimmy, people want to hear your music. If they want to book you, where do they go to find you?
Well, my socials and Instagram is Jimmy James Live. That's my stage name, so very cool. But jimmyjameslive.com, obviously, if you're wanting to do weddings, and wedding season is coming up pretty closely as the sun doesn't, beat down as hard. But Jimmy James Live.
Well, we're going to hear him in just a moment. We'll let Jimmy get set up, and then we'll hear Brick by Brick. Here he is, Jimmy James, with his own music, Brick by Brick. Take it away, Jimmy.
It's not working out, not what you thought it would be like, not who you wanted to be. Trying to find yourself in the chaos, cutting your friends off, losing their number, putting your phone down. Oh, you shouldn't do this alone. But you thought that you'd be set up by 30, not starting over, taking the first steps, but learning to run. You're gonna leave them behind. And so one at a time. 2 by 2, feel your plans fall through. Hopefully by 3, you know who you are. You try one more time as the cards crash down. You know this time we'll take it slow, and you know you're better off this way. How'd you tell the people you love that you love someone else? They're on your mind, you're sharing your spot. I didn't mean it to hurt. And you know that you were drifting away, a piece of your soul given to someone you know doesn't need you. But with it you need them. And you try to cut the anchor and sail off, but a ship with no anchor is love with no desire, or floating free. Never felt so alone. And so one by one, one brick at a time, 2 by 2, feel your plans fall through. Hopefully by 3, you know who you are. You try one more time as the cards crash down. You know this time we'll take it slow, and you know you do this alone. You try one more time, one brick at a time. 2 by 2, feel your plans fall through. Hopefully by 3, you know who you are. You try one more time as the cards crash down. Know this time we'll take it slow, and you know we're better off this way. Better off this way.
Oh my goodness, Jimmy, I have absolute goosebumps. I can see why everyone is such a fan of your music. I'm a big fan now. Can't wait to see you play a little bit more. And I cannot wait to hear that recording as well. That was Jimmy James. Check him out online. He's got Jimmy James Live on all the socials and a website as well.